Agents, and welcome to another video brought to you by the Technology Committee at Keller Williams Realty-Seminole. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Dotloop and how you access it. To access Dotloop, simply go to mykw.kw.com and log into the Keller Williams intranet. Once there, you will see the eEdge control panel. From the eEdge control panel, click Start My Transaction. Once in Dotloop, you should see the loops that you currently have. You can view these loops either in what I call the bubble view or the grid view, where there are large circles with street address inside, or up here in the upper right, you can switch to list view. Along the top of My Transactions is a toolbar. You have the dashboard, loops, tasks, people, and templates. Dashboard will give you information about your transactions. Loops will take you back to all of your loops if you're in a particular loop. Tasks will let you know what is still left to be done on a particular transaction. People will allow you to set up service providers that you use frequently, and will also give you a complete contact list of everyone you've ever put into Dotloop. And finally, templates. Templates is how you access the documents that are stored in Dotloop by your market center for use. Depending on how your market center has their templates set up, they may have a variety of different packages with documents in there to make each transaction easier. Here in Keller Williams-Seminole, we require checklists in our loops, and this is where you'll find a variety of checklists to help with your transaction. You'll see there's a residential listing, condo contract, condo listing, vacant land listing, etc. Please choose the checklist that's appropriate for that folder in that transaction and stick it in the folder. We also have a buyer package, which contains most of the documents that you will use when you're working with a buyer. We have a buyer condo package, a buyer short sale package. We have the FAR CRISP contract forms, and we have seller packages, including seller condo, seller short sale. We also have a folder in here with riders, addendas, and brochures. So if you're looking for a rider that's not in one of the packages, or a particular addenda, or a blank addenda, or brochures like the energy gauge brochure, you'll find it here in riders, addendas, and brochures. We also have Keller Williams office specific forms. These are documents that were created specifically for use in our office. Finally, we have All Documents Seminole. This is a big folder with pretty much everything you might need in your transaction in case you can't find something elsewhere. When you're looking for a document, there's a search bar up here at the top. For example, if I were looking for a lead-based paint, I could come up here and type in lead, and it's going to give me every result with the word lead in it. If I want to add it to one of my loops, I check the box and click Copy To. The template section is one of 3 ways that you can add documents to Dotloop. The other 2 that we'll get to in another video is by searching on your computer or drag and dropping, and the third way would be email. The template section is really for documents that are interactive, and they're organized in these different packages to make it easier on you. The packages don't contain every document because only you know your transaction. For example, if it's a 55+ community, we may not have the 55+ community writer in the seller package because it's not used that often, but it will be here in the writers and addenda. The packages contain the documents that you will use most frequently in your transactions. Now let's go back to the loops for a minute and talk about how to set up a loop and what a loop is. The best way to think of a loop is as an accordion folder in a big filing cabinet. The filing cabinet is .loop. The accordion folder, which you may put one or several folders in. To create a loop, you come over to the right on this red search bar, click Create a Loop, and you will get a pop-up asking you to name your loop. Generally, it's a good idea to name your loop by a property address. And as you can see, other people have used test loop before, and all these choices pop up. When you stick in a property address through Google Maps and through MLS, you'll get certain responses. You can click on it and it may make it easier on you. If you're working with a buyer and don't know the property address yet because you haven't identified the property, use the buyer's name. When you put a contract on a home and it's accepted, then go ahead and change the name from the buyer's to the property address. Once you name it, click Create Loop. And by default, you'll see that you have a single folder here. At Keller Williams, we require 3 folders, a minimum of 3 folders in each loop. It's a closing folder, a contract folder, and a miscellaneous folder. For more on this, see the video titled KW Compliance 101. If I want to add a folder, come over here to the upper right, click Add Folder, and I can name the folder whatever I'd like. As I previously mentioned, there are 3 ways to add documents to this through the templates, which we just discussed, browse, or email. If I would like to search through my computer, I click Browse, and it opens up a window very similar to Explorer. Search for the document or documents you wish to add. Click Open down in the lower right, and it will add those documents to .loop. If I wanted to add additional documents from the template section, I would click Add Document, Templates, and you'll see the pop-up window that we saw earlier appears, and you just check which package you want, or whether it's writers or addenda or office forms, find the appropriate document, and click Copy. Now that document has been added to the loop as well. The third way I mentioned is through email. This is pretty easy. If you click Email, this will give you a specific email address to this folder in this loop in .loop. Copy to clipboard. Now this email address right here is specific to this loop. You can simply paste this email address in any email you've received with a PDF. For example, if an agent sends you an offer, it's in a PDF, it's in the email, simply click this address, paste it in the To section, who you want to send it to, and click Send. It doesn't matter what else is in the email, signatures, pictures, wording. The only things that will be copied into .loop will be the PDFs. The last thing I want to talk about real quickly is the skinny snowman, the little 3 dots over here. This is like a file menu for each individual document. You also have one for the folder. Obviously, I've added too many of the same document here. If I would like to archive one, I click the skinny snowman. I get a list of choices: open, rename, make a copy, see the history on it, print, download, or archive. Archive makes it disappear. Nothing is deleted from .loop. It stays in there for 7 years. However, you can archive it so it's no longer visible in the loop. Using the skinny snowman, you can also rename your documents. If I want to rename a folder, same process. If I want to move one document inside the loop into another folder in the loop, although it would be nice if we could just drag it into another folder, Dotloop won't allow us to do this. It has to do with their security protocols. So in order to move a document from one folder to another, go over to the Skinny Snowman, click Make a Copy, and it's going to ask where I would like to, where I would want to copy it to, and how do I want to copy it. I'm going to copy this as a Dotloop document, and I'm going to send it to a loop. The loop I want to send it to is test loop 1, and obviously it popped up. Now it's going to ask which folder. It's already in the contract folder. I want to copy it to the miscellaneous folder, so I simply click miscellaneous folder and then copy. Now that document that was up here has now been copied into this folder, and I can go ahead and just archive this one because I've copied it to a new folder. So that's how you move one document from one folder to another within your loop. That's how you add documents to loops, how you set up a loop, how you name it, and how you use the template section. I hope you found this video informative. And please look out for additional videos with more tips and tricks.